Hey guys, Victoria here and welcome to the Geeky Sandbox. So today we're going to go over my top 5 moments from Pretty Little Liars, The Perfectionists, episode 2. And the title of the episode is Sex, Lies, and Alibis. And guys, we have a lot to talk about in regard to flimsy alibis, so let's get into it. And just a spoiler reminder for everybody, if you have not seen Pretty Little Liars and you want to stay spoiler free, or if you haven't seen the first episode of Pretty Little Liars, The Perfectionists, then go ahead and skip this video. Number 5. Nolan is the new A. Just kidding. While everyone's trying to get their life back to what feels like normal, just after Nolan dying, Ava wants nothing to do with Caitlin or Dylan, especially since Caitlin's death prediction for Nolan was spot on. Allison gets a text from air quote Nolan telling her to meet him on the top of the roof of Thorn Hall. So she's freaked out and I'm freaked out and confused, and that's why I say, are we getting A vibes from this, anybody? And just a sidebar, everyone finds out his murder was a murder and not a suicide. Mona admits that Nolan is dead because of her, and what does that mean? We truly don't know. Number 4, Caitlin and Dylan try to check on Ava. These three aren't close friends, and they said like, hey, we know we don't know enough about each other, anything like that, but we really have to stick together through a time like this. And so Caitlin and Dylan are really trying their best to convince Ava that they didn't kill Nolan. So they attend the funeral in amazing fashion. Of course, love the fashion in this one. Of course, Ava is dressed and has gone all out for this just because she is a fashion major. And they attend this funeral in order to keep up the act that they were all Nolan's good friends. And a side note, we meet a new character, Mason, who was some sort of a childhood friend to Nolan. Random for him to just kind of show up at the funeral. It's your childhood friend, so if you guys were close up until the point of death, then of course he would show up, but it's still kind of odd that he kind of came up out of nowhere. And like Dylan said, is it me or does Mason look a little too sad? I'm with you, Dylan. Number 3, we meet Miss Dana Booker. She's the FBI agent who was trying to ask Ava for the truth about her dad's whereabouts in the last episode. But anyway, she shows up at the funeral and just all around the campus, and she has an edge to her. And I like her as a character, though I know she's going to get under my skin eventually. She seems like a very good antagonist, and she's going to give everyone a really hard time. Now, what everyone's trying to figure out is, why does she leave the FBI to become a school cop? Does she have a specific or very personal vendetta against Ava and her dad's case? Who knows? But all we know now is that she's the new head of BHU security down at the university. And my God, is she digging. Later, she even asks Allison, but very firmly instructs Allison to hand over the papers over the Agatha Christie novel where they spoke about justifying murder. And just a side note, Mona and Allison, aside from just eating pie and being nice to each other, are really trying to figure out exactly what Nolan wanted with her. And I'm trying to figure that out myself too. So it turns out he actually did send her that text that we saw, and he wanted her to help him right before the moment he was killed. Seems like the BH security was down, so the message was delayed. Though we as an audience know where Allison was, we know she was at home tearing the wallpaper off her walls and trying to decipher a weird message. Everyone else, she has no alibi. And at the same time, she has an alibi because there's no proof that she was at home without the security cameras being online. And random, but I kind of like how Allison is trying to keep Mona afloat and not let her go down that rabbit hole we all know. Number 2, the group plans to break into the greenhouse and steal Nolan's secrets. Before they get to, we find out that Mason dated Caitlin. Kind of awkward. He just kind of walks up, wants to kind of, talk with her for comfort. And while they're talking, we learn a little bit about Mason, but not enough for me to not feel very suspicious of him. But anyways, while they're talking, he kind of offers her an alibi if she needs one, and she's kind of taken aback, and so am I. I'm kind of like, how does he know she needs an alibi? He just kind of writes it off with, we all need one, but we'll see what happens with that. But meanwhile, Dylan sneaks into the greenhouse and he finds a note. Someone beat them to the dirt Nolan had on them, and this person was also sneaking around and heard the conversation they had about how they wished he was dead. So the guys are really in trouble right now. And just a side note, Ava's kind of getting on my nerves. I mean, I get that she's grieving, so I'm just trying to take that into consideration, but she's being very abrasive with the trio right now. And like I said, I even get that they're not friends, but they are trying to help. And another side note, Mona called Hannah. Mona called Hannah, and so we learned that Hannah and Caleb had a baby and that Spencer and Toby eloped. It was so sweet to hear how happy Mona was when she was talking to her, and I don't know, it just warmed my heart, and I'm glad that she was able to do that because I like when Mona is grounded. I know people kind of like crazy smart Mona, but I like when Mona's grounded and she's still able to be very smart and help everyone out. And number 1, in the words of Allison, bring it on, bitch. Allison lies for the trio and makes herself their alibi. Dana Booker is relentless and kind of a butt. She pulls our trio out of Allison's class and just kind of outs them in front of everybody. And she decides to say that they were all at her house that night Nolan was murdered. Allison did. Since, as I mentioned earlier, there wasn't any surveillance footage providing otherwise. She was really motivated to take on this role just because she had a kind of late night talk with Mrs. Hotchkiss about how, you know, Allison did need to pretend to be someone that she wasn't, and that she can help those kids in the way that she knew how to help them because she was a survivor. So I'm guessing Allison took that into her own words, or took those words and just kind of phrased them into a way that she felt like she understood and decided to be their alibi. So overall, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of did enjoy this episode, and I'm happy to see the direction that the show is going. It's not bad at all. Allison really did surprise me there. Like I said, I get that she's trying to do right by them, and she still has that Rosewood streak. However, it is interesting that she's putting everything on the line like that. I understand that she's been there, you know, with A and her friends, and she feels like she can help, but there wasn't much of a build up to it within the first episode. But I understand what the show is after and what they're trying to do. But anyways, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and give me a like rating down below, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you like TV shows and reviews. And go ahead and drop me a comment. How do you think this is going to affect Allison moving forward? Do you feel like the students are going to flock to her, or do you feel like they're going to kind of be weirded out that she decided to be their alibi? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. And until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!